All right, next matchup. It is going to be Magic taking on the Hawks, 7:30 Atlanta. Short trip for this Orlando team, just right up the road. Now, Orlando's minus 2.5, total 227. We did see a half a point move toward Orlando. Money on the Magic and money on the over. The Magic open as the 2-point favorite, up to minus 2.5. Total open 226 up to 227. Right now, Atlanta's plus $1.15 on the money line. Now, if you like the Hawks in this matchup here, I know they do have the ability to score a lot of points, but they failed to cover the number in 4 out of their last 6. They're also just 17 and 42 overall for the year. So I know there have been some bright spots on this Atlanta team, but don't forget the fact that these guys are 17 and 42 overall for the year. Second to last in the East, 9 games back of the 8th seed. Atlanta, bottom 10 in offensive rebounding, bottom 3 in points allowed. They're giving up 119 points per contest. They got to get that in check. They're just 11 and 17 straight up at home, bottom 3 in defensive rebounding, bottom 5 in points allowed on their home court. Capella, Labissiere, and Bembry are out. Hunter is listed as questionable. Now, the Magic on the other side, winners of 3 out of their last 4. They're currently ranking first in the NBA in points allowed. They're giving up just 105 points per contest, that really slow pace. They're also 15 and 13 against the spread when they travel. Nick Vucevic, 19 points a game, double-digit rebounds, 4 assists. Evan Fournier, 19 points a game, 3 assists for him. And Aaron Gordon, 14 points a game, 8 rebounds. We're looking at an Orlando team. They're right on the cusp there. 8th place in the Eastern Conference. The season ended today. They'd be in. They'd be facing Milwaukee. But once again, Orlando, 8th place in the East, 4.5 games ahead of Washington for that spot. Now, Orlando, surprisingly, because the markets have been over-adjusting, they're 4-0 to the over in their last 4. Meanwhile, 7 out of their last 8 got over the number as well. Meanwhile, Atlanta 6-3 to the over in their last 9. I'm going to lean Magic minus 2.5 and the over 227 in that game. All right, next contest. Grizzlies, Rockets, 8 o'clock, Houston. The Rockets are the 10.5 point favorite at home, total 235. We're seeing money on the Rockets in the early wagering. They open up as the 10-point favorite, up to minus 10.5, totals 235. Memphis is plus 460 for an upset win. Now, if you like Memphis in this matchup here, just keep in mind, they're on a 3-game skid right now. Lost their last 3 straight, just 2 and 4 against the spread in their last 6. Grizzlies rank in the bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 10 in defending the 3 ball on the road. Now, the Rockets on the other side, winners of their last 4 straight themselves. They're also 20 and 8 straight up on their home court. They rank in the top 3 in scoring, top 5 in home offensive rebounding. They're currently in 4th place in the Western Conference, 17 games over 500, winners of 8 out of their last 10. Now, keep an eye on Eric Gordon. He's been listed as questionable with a knee, but regardless of whether he plays or not, we got James Harden, who's averaging 35 a game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Of course, Russell Westbrook, 27 a game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals as well. Keep an eye on Westbrook. I did see some rumors out there that this could be a potential rest day for him. But regardless, we are looking at a Houston team who ranks in the top 10 in home defensive field goal percentage. So I know a lot of people think nothing but offense with Houston, but keep that in mind. At the Toyota Center, top 10 in home defensive field goal percentage. That blew my mind when I saw that as well. Now, 5 out of Houston's last 7 did stay under the number. That's another one of those cases where the markets have just been adjusting so much, kind of the polar opposite of those Orlando games. So once again, Houston 5-2 to the under in their last 7. Meanwhile, 4 out of Memphis's last 5 stayed under the total as well. I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Give me Houston minus 10.5 and the under 235 in that game. All right, next matchup, Dallas versus San Antonio, 8:30 Eastern tip-off. The Mavs are favored by 5.5 on the road, total at 230. We're seeing money on the Mavericks and money on the over. A 1-point move toward Dallas and a 2-point move toward the over. Dallas opened 4.5 up to minus 5.5. Total opened 228 up to 230. Right now, the Spurs are plus $1.90 on the money line. Now, if you like the Spurs at home here, just keep in mind they've dropped 6 out of their last 8 games. And out of their 26 home games this year, they've successfully covered the point spread in just 9 of them. They're currently 11th place in the Western Conference, 8 games under 500. They rank in the bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 10 in defending the three ball. Now, the San Antonio squad is giving up 115 points per contest. And even worse news, LaMarcus Aldridge is out with a shoulder. Dallas on the other side, 4-2 straight up in their last 6, 19-9 straight up when traveling. The Mavs rank in the top 3 in scoring, top 5 in offensive rebounding, and they are very, very good against the number when they travel. 21-7 against the spread away from home. Luka Doncic, 29, 10, and 9. Porzingis, 19 points a game, 9 rebounds for him. Porzingis is also averaging 2 blocks a game. And Hardaway Jr., 15 points a game, 3 rebounds for this Mavericks team. Dallas, top 10 in shooting the 3 ball, top 3 in road scoring. Keep an eye on Willie Cauley-Stein as he is listed as questionable. Now, 8 out of Dallas's last 9 did get over the number. They were also 18-10 at the over when they travel. Meanwhile, on the other side, 6 out of San Antonio's last 7 got over the number as well. I'm going to lean Dallas minus 5.5. And the over 230 in that contest. Next matchup, Clippers versus the Suns, 9 o'clock Phoenix. The Clippers are laying 5.5 on the road, total at 233. We're seeing money on the Clippers and money on the under. Half a point move toward Los Angeles and movement downward on the total. The Clippers open -5 up to 5.5. Total open 234 down to 233. Phoenix is plus 215 on the money line. And if you like the Suns in this game here, just keep in mind they rank in the bottom 10 in shooting the 3 ball, bottom 10 in offensive rebounding. They're currently in 13th place in the West, 10 games under 500. Now, Phoenix is just 11-18 against the spread on their home court. They're also ranking in the bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage, bottom 10 in home points allowed. They're giving up 113 points per contest in that category. Now, the Clippers on the other side, 3rd place in the Western Conference, arguably one of the best teams in the entire association. I know a few weeks ago, a lot of commentators out there were saying that they were even better than the Lakers, and some were even saying they were better than the Bucks. But anyway, still record-wise doing very well. Once again, 3rd place in the Western Conference, 1.5 games back of Denver for that 2nd seed. They rank in the top 5 in scoring on average per game, top 3 in offensive rebounding. Kawhi Leonard, 27 points a game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Paul George, 21 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And of course, Lou Williams, 19 points a game, 6 assists for this Clippers team. The Clippers rank in the top 3 in defensive field goal percentage, top 10 in road scoring. Now, 4 out of the Clippers' last 5 did stay under the number. Meanwhile, Phoenix 5-2 to the under in their last 7. I'm going to lean toward the road favorite in this one. Give me the Clippers minus 5.5. And the under 233 in that game. Of course, I'm going to slide in my next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Boston taking on the Jazz, 10:30 Utah. The Jazz are laying 4.5 at home, total at 221. We're seeing money on Utah and money on the over. 1 point move toward Utah and a 1 point move toward the over in the early wagering here. Utah opened 3.5 up to -4.5. Total open 220 up to 221. Right now, the Celtics are plus $1.70 on the money line. Boston, winners of 8 out of their last 10. They also went 70% against the spread in those 10 games. They covered against the likes of the Clippers, Lakers, and Philadelphia during that stretch. They rank in the top 10 in scoring on average per game, top 5 in points allowed. Now, keep an eye on Kemba Walker. He's listed as questionable for tonight's action. But regardless of if he plays or not, Boston is absolutely stacked. Jason Tatum, 23 a game, 7 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 20 points a game, 6 boards for him. And Gordon Hayward, 17, 7, and 4 for Big Gordon. Now, Boston, 19-10 against the spread when they travel. They rank in the top 3 in road points allowed. They're giving up just 106 points per contest in that category. Now, the Jazz on the other side, believe it or not, losers of their last 3 straight. They also went just 30% against the number in their last 10. They failed to cover against the likes of the Suns, Spurs, and Portland twice during that stretch. And out of their 28 home games this year, Utah's successfully covered the number in just 13 of them. Now, 4 out of Utah's last 7 did get over the total. Meanwhile, Boston's 7-2 to the over in their last 9. I'm going to lean Celtics plus 4.5 and the over 221 in that game. All right, hey guys, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. All right, shout out to Joseph Vong Patty, Pittsburgh Gentleman, PA. Andrew Stirrup from the Bahamas. Shout out to RMS, Sound Off 078, Anthony James, Robert Trefker, Vernon Williard, Gambling Junkie, Stephen Lewis, Don Hughes, and last but certainly not least, the guy that has been hurt by all of this, by me not doing the shout outs. I got to give a shout out to my man, The Rudy. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now. If you are not subscribed, I need you to do it this second. Need more subscribers. But anyway, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Wednesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.